I'm here for it. Gen.G, the North American greats right now, come to this region and just stomping on everyone. So we'll maybe, Cole, maybe OpTic Gaming can change the story.
Maybe, just maybe, Gen.G will fall to OpTic Gaming. Stranger things have indeed happened, and we have to remember, OpTic aren't a bad team and aren't bad players, but when you get 5 seconds in and Nolly scores a double tap stacks, it instantly gets that much tougher.
That is Nolly's first goal of the tournament. Had just the 4 assists, only 4 assists in the previous round win over Koi. How fitting that we show you the American flag and everybody's favorite American player, Nolly, gets the scoring started.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, we're saying that we couldn't really see too much of a path to victory for OpTic Gaming, but talk us through the OpTic Gaming dynamic. What are they going to be relying on to at least perform as well as they can right now against Gen.G?
I think the shooting from someone like AJ has to be better. That one goes far down and in, and right on cue, AJ does score. He had 1 goal in the previous series with Dignitas that they dropped in 4 games. He adds 1 here. Reddle's actually the leading scorer with 5 goals, and you know, I think OpTic is at their best when Reddles doesn't have to be the leading scorer. I think there's kind of a tendency to feel like he's got to put the team on his shoulders, put him in the backpack, and kind of be the hard carry. And when he can rely on his teammates to help him out, then he's a lot more comfortable. I think you can say that about a lot of players, but I think it especially stands out for Reddles.
OpTic are going to have to be aware that they're up against a team that are going to feel they will win absolutely everything put in front of them and will be utterly fearless. They have to make sure they're standing firm against what will be a spirited Gen.G attack, and that's a good example from Magic Bear right there. The newbie introduced to this OpTic Gaming roster, you know, and they're a player that, at least publicly, they've been very vocal about, talking about how much they love playing with him and how much they believe in him. So there's always going to be pressure on the newer player to excel in some way. But I think, as you say, from the old guard, from Rettles and AJ, they're still capable of doing some damage themselves. Apparently, Jack is called into a save, which would have put OpTic 2-1 up.
Well, AJ circling around on a shot here. Apparently, Jack got it right back to him. And AJ almost scoring on a really tight angle with the rebound. Chronic now out of the corner. Magic Bear is there to stop that effort. And Chronic can just send this right through the middle where apparently Jack is waiting. And I think everybody kind of watching every game Gen.G plays almost under a microscope, trying to figure out just how they are so much better than everybody else. A team that's just formed 5 months ago as that shot rings over the crossbar. But they have the chemistry of a team that's been together for years, it feels like.
Yeah, well, Nolly and apparently Jack, you know, their careers circled among one another without ever playing together back in EU. And then finally, they made that decision. But we'll get back to that because they may be about to witness a goal flying over their heads. Quite because Nolly had managed to get back. AJ's approaching this one. Apparently Jack keeps himself behind the ball. And I think it must be said to me, you know, Chronic is this sort of North American wonder kid. Nolly's in fantastic form since moving over. But apparently Jack, he just always seems to have, he seems to bend time and space to his will. Every touch, perfectly to himself. He keeps on going. He keeps his car behind the ball. There's never a dud hit from apparently Jack.
Yeah, he's certainly one of the smarter players in the world and has been regarded in that way for a while. He's also Johnny on the spot here as his effort right down Main Street off the feed from Chronic. And there's that chemistry again. Everybody bunched up in the box. Apparently Jack recognizes that, jumps right in, and 1 back on the board here for Gen.G.
Very few areas are safe when you're up against Gen.G. You're camping your own goal line and they'll put in the infield pass with perfect precision and a huge amount of pace as well, making it as difficult as possible to save. But here comes AJ, one of the original mechanical kids. I say original, you know, sort of 3rd generation mechanical kids perhaps. He's been among the scene for a long time now. Wasn't quite able to get that one on target. Apparently Jack just goes again and...
Okay. Sure.
Like, when did he make the decision just to prod this one into the corner? Now? Just, oh yeah, I see there's a gap. Nolly's going for the bump, so get it in the bottom right. And it will find its way in. You don't always have to slam the ball in. And if anyone is going to realize that in time and get it on target, it's apparently Jack stacks. It's just apparently Jack.
Apparently so. Here goes Jack again. And he got this one through Magic Bear. When it rains, it pours, and it almost turned into a torrential downpour on the blue half of the field. OpTic at least able to keep them out for now, though not through much of their own work. Reddles right at apparently Jack. Nolly's popped this up. leaves Chronic all alone. He couldn't stop AJ, who bounces it down on the double.
Love to see it from AJ. There we go. Nolly actually did a missed touch there, or a missed touch, should I say. And AJ didn't need to be invited twice. A beautiful double tap to keep OpTic Gaming in this one. They've done well to survive because Gen.G are looking pretty smooth themselves. And OG, off the back of that tough loss against Dignitas, are really, doing their best to impose themselves in this series.
I have a theory about Gen.G that we'll probably get into as the weekend goes on. We talk about how they seem to struggle on Fridays at times. They actually look human occasionally. And then Saturday and Sunday rolls around and it's just night and day, where they just dominate everybody. And I wonder if it's just that they have a level of kind of feedback and reviewing their gameplay that other teams just don't have. I wonder how much coaching might come into that as well, because again, there is nobody else in the world that seems to have that switch that they flip between day one and the rest of the event. They've got it going right now, though, on their way to a 2-0 record so far in the group stage as they try to take game one. Apparently, Jack and Nolly getting things rolling now for Gen.G.
Yeah, I mean, in a world where everybody is looking towards players like Zen, mechanical wonder kids who are going to change the game and, grab Rocket League Esports by the scruff of the neck, Gen.G have been a little bit different since they moved to North America. They're much more the team focused, the team. If we're playing, or if I'm playing not that great, that's fine, because I can still bring my teammates into it. There's certainly a throwback to an old meta, I would say. The new old meta are Gen.G, and players who have mechanical focal points are struggling to deal with this dynamic that they're presenting to us all. It's just incredible how consistent it is. And as you say, Stacks, the final piece of the final ingredient is, even when it's not working, they go back, they tweak it. Nolly was saying in his interview, they're able to talk to each other. They're not going to take it personally if someone calls something out. It's just this perfect stew of Rocket League they've got going on. And it's going to lead them to this first game right now against OpTic. But credit to OpTic, Stacks, because they did put up a fight. They
did put up a fight, but in the end, they still had the fight taken to them. I mean, that early goal out of Gen.G, I mean, it sets the tone, right? I mean, sure, you're always able to come back. You've got plenty of time to work with, but when you start behind the 8 ball like that, with the season going the way it's going for OpTic and their expectations not even coming close to reality, it's got to wear on you at some point, and that mental block is got to be real tough to overcome.
Well, Leaf, Gen.G, they won game number 1, and we were saying, as the first series was going on, we were like, oh, Gen.G win, of course. That was a bit trickier than perhaps it could have been, but how are games going elsewhere?
Well, great if you're not NRG.
Ooh,
that's for sure.
No.
Shopify Rebellion take game 1, 5-1.
Who just got perfect swept?
5-1?
It was 5-1.
Yeah.
For Shopify. Yeah. Also, M80, it might not, they might be good, but not that good. FaZe Clan is currently up 1-0 and in the series, and then 3-1 in game 2 against M80. So they have a little bit of work to go.
I think FaZe are going to be an angered, prodded beast in this event.
They're not
right
happy.
now.
Yeah.
No, so anybody coming up against FaZe, beware and be prepared for an absolute barrage. But yeah, interesting results going on all over the place. Stacks, and surely these sort of fairy tale runs, these Cinderella runs that are happening, can give a team like OpTic, who don't need a Cinderella run, they're better than that, a little bit of heart against Gen.G.
Yeah, again, this team is not invincible, despite what they look like when everybody's watching on Sunday, right? But the overwhelming offense out of game 1, and again, that early goal out of Nolly, it's so tough to play from behind against this team. You've got to jump on them early. Reddle's going to try to do exactly that. Quick correction, he had 4 goals, not 5. Apparently 1 disallowed at some point in that opening series. As AJ found a way to get this through, as did Reddles, but still able to be staved away. Reddles' shot here, blocked by Chronic. This is the pressure that OpTic needs. They need to sustain it. And AJ trying to do exactly that, guiding that ball back to Magic Bear. Here comes OpTic again, out to AJ from the wing, and apparently Jack is all over it.
Confident start, though, for OpTic Gaming. They have to keep this up. They'll know that any second they could be countered, but you have to try and wrestle with that fear when you're up against Gen.G. As Chronic comes from the side, Magic Bear fancies this one. Does he know he leaves it what he hoped would be for Rettles, but Rettles a little bit too slow. Apparently Jack might be able to complete that counter, but Magic Bear gets it away. He keeps the touch going. Around the corner with him. Chronic on the backboard. Edge is in the center, and Nolly is going to turn this one down. So at the moment, OpTic looking at the faster team stacks.
Not so fast. Nolly, like a hot knife through butter, just right through the defense. One little move on Magic Bear. Rettles trying to recover from the side. He couldn't get there. And after being held off the scoreboard through the entire first round, Nolly's the leading scorer in the series with his third.
Now stuff for Magic Bear because he was so desperate to keep that attack going. That's why he made that mistake as the third man diving in. But another attack starts from the kickoff. And once again, AJ scores the equalizer after an early Gen.G goal.
Well, AJ has had shots go in off the ground, off the crossbar. This one cleanly into the net, just above the line. And a 1-all scoreline here. And this is great for a player like AJ, too, who he'll have his fits of struggling with shooting accuracy and some of those bounces not going his way. I think it can get into his head, but right now, he is all money. AJ with 2 in a row.
Absolutely beautiful. Look at this, the flip reset. And then this extra touch here just to float it over the top of Chronic and Nolly, as they dive from side to side. That one looked quite beautiful in every way, but the most beautiful thing for OpTic fans is that score at the top. 2-1 to OG.
This is exactly what they needed, but again, they're up against a monster in Gen.G. Nolly, shots high. AJ couldn't get to it. Chronic could not direct the rebound home. Apparently, Jack bringing this to ground. Nolly's there, and so is Rettles for the save right at the halfway mark to preserve a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, but this Gen.G machine is just about ticking into third gear now, I feel. OpTic have managed to make them bleed, and they're going to want to get them back. Apparently Jack with the 50-50 against Magic Bear. Magic Bear does more great work. AJ's coming forward. He's warmed up as well. Such a hot and cold player, but when he is hot, absolutely sizzling. And he's closed down fast again by OpTic Gaming, and that seems to be what's working for them against Gen.G. You feel that after a game or so, Gen.G are going to be able to counter it, but for now, this is a real chance of OpTic playing at this pace for them to take their second game.
Chronic coming on, realized Rettles had him beat, so Chronic trying to guide this back towards Nolly, but AJ's picked him at midfield, and Chronic had to scramble back and just did so. Couldn't quite get through Rettles, though, to get to that ball. Now Rettles going to take this himself, line up the double, it's high, AJ rebound is stuffed by Chronic.
So close for OpTic Gaming doubling their lead. They'll keep on trying, though. Credit to them. They're not sitting on this 1-goal lead. They're keeping coming forwards. AJ should have a simple touch to the side. Nolly tries to put him off. Rettles does put him off. But AJ keeps on going, ignoring all the noise from the left and the right. Managed to have a good pinch. It goes into the center. Eventually Nolly gets it, but he has to back up out the way, allowing in Chronic, who wants to do something with it. But Morgan teeing up right now from OpTic Gaming, playing in front of the ball. This is what we want to see from them. Are they able to see it away, Stacks? It's looking like they've got every chance of getting the second game.
They do. You see in Gen.G and how they work, though. It starts way at the back. Just lob it up there, let somebody else create. And they kind of play close to the vest. You're not seeing a bunch of big booming clears and dump and chase. A lot of intention with every play as Chronic stopped by Magic Bear. Here goes apparently Jack over towards the right side. He's got Nolly over there, but so too is AJ. Chronic through traffic. Could not keep possession. Magic Bear chance to maybe put this game away. And he's got it on the goal line, but that's great patient defending from apparently Jack.
Well, Magic Bear had no boost. He did his best to just get something from it. Getting the ball across the goal line was about as good as he could have hoped for. And more importantly, right now in this context, is stealing seconds from that clock. Nolly, though, is able to get this one clean. Apparently, Jack takes over. Nolly in front of the ball. Apparently, Jack, will he get it back to his teammate, Chronic? One way or another, it's via an OpTic player, but it's good enough. That one's going to fall to Nolly. AJ falls on the ball. It's fortunate from OpTic Gaming, but you have to take that little pinch of luck. They're going again, though, Gen.G. Rettles, his touch. He has to stay behind this one. He does. Chronic with a race against Magic Bear. Magic Bear gets the bump, and OpTic Gaming take game 2.
That game was hanging on the edge the entire final 30 seconds, and OpTic hanging on for dear life, trying to preserve that lead. Great effort by Rettles and Magic Bear at the end. AJ with the offensive explosion. And it's just about a 10-second stretch of time where AJ takes the game over. Leaf, what's going on elsewhere here in round 2?
I mean, a lot of matches are actually still going on right now, so we don't have a ridiculous amount of results. But I will just bring us back to the NRG match because, there's a lot of NRG fans that want to know what's going on and haven't clicked on their stream and they're not over there watching the team stream. There was a bit of a bite back. 4-1 for NRG this time. So
big swings in that.
Right. Yeah. Big back and forth series. Also, on the M80 side, it's tied in game 3. They're not getting beat right now, so maybe they are good.
How long's left in that one?
There is 30 seconds left.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're
getting overtime.
Yeah, it seems like they're improving against FaZe as they go along. So good luck to M80. Over here, though, Stacks, we've got a little bit of a fight on our hands from OpTic Gaming. I was most impressed with how, after having so much pressure at the start, they were countered, a frustrating way to concede. Your third man coming forward too much. But they stuck to that game plan. They kept on attacking Gen.G, and, it bore fruit.
Yeah, a lot to build on there for OpTic Gaming. A season that has, as we've kind of hinted at, not gone towards expectations at all. There was a lot of excitement around this team when they formed, and the question was Magic Bear, and everybody, you mentioned it, the players on this OpTic squad said, nope, Magic Bear's the truth. This is the guy. We have a lot of faith in him. And so far, without a goal or assist in this series, and there's always going to be that cloud kind of hanging over his head and this team's head when the rumors of Rise coming over and the domino effect that would have caused was going to leave Magic Bear without a home. That was the guy that OpTic was rumored to be replacing. It did not ultimately happen. And now they've got to find a way to kind of navigate that mental obstacle course. They've also got to find a way to navigate around midfield. They just lose the ball here completely. Magic Bear and AJ not on the same page. AJ looked like he might have got nudged from behind, and Nolly is all over it.
Yeah, Nolly is just punishing this OpTic Gaming midfield presence. Whenever they make a loose touch or the ball goes into the center, Nolly is the one who is there to make sure he will be the next one to touch the ball and scoring himself a few simple goals after opening the series with an absolute banger. Did deliver Pudley, and apparently Jack won't be able to get to that one, but Nolly will chase it. Let's see if he can get himself another freebie. Not quite on that occasion, but Gen.G have a lead, and they're looking good for it.
A little floater just barely over the bar. Magic Bear applying the pressure, serving one up to AJ. That's going to be blocked out to the corner. Chronic hasn't got this out of the zone. Apparently Jack will try off the challenge in the half flip, and just jammed up there on the side. It looks like ice hockey right now as Reddles will have to bring this deep into his own corner. That boost spawns behind him, so it's going to be free for Magic Bear to take. But he couldn't go after it because the ball almost came back in from apparently Jack. And just that threat alone is enough to kind of freeze defenses and make them alter as that goes bar down and off of AJ.
So close. OpTic survive and might be able to even counter if Rettles can beat Chronic here. Chronic not only got in the way, managed to get the ball all the way down to the other end, but OpTic Gaming with an AJ pre-jump will come again. Magic Bear not quite there in time. Apparently Jack into the center. Wants to get the second touch, but isn't able to. Apparently Jack, though, does linger in front, asking Chronic to pass the ball to him. Instead, Chronic opted just to send it long to try and waste some OpTic boost. It looked like a good choice, and eventually, he is going to put it away, and it's 2-0 Gen.G.
What more can you say? Apparently, Jack, it's a shot on, it's a rebound. Chronic coming in, and just the defense of OpTic falling apart here at the midway point of Game 3. It's not match point after their efforts from Game 2, but Nola's going to add to it as he slots one from midfield off the kickoff. And now it is just pouring goals from Gen.G.
Another midfield goal from Nolly. And I think one thing I've noticed about Gen.G that they do a little bit differently is, it sounds weird, but bear with me, how often they turn down passes. They'll have a player in front of them, 45 degrees with full boost. Everyone is expecting that pass to go to the player in front. But, you saw with Chronic last time, instead, he just floated the ball up, onto the backboard. And I think because OpTic Gaming had positioned to block any incoming pass, that meant that they had to waste so much boost. And of course, Gen.G, they're so well drilled that they were able to make the most from that. And the rotations led to the goal that put them 2-0 up before Nolly made it 3. So The decision-making is relatively unique at the moment from Gen.G, and that goes all the way down to the way they play and view the game as a team.
Yeah, it seems like they have just a very deep understanding of how you think in Rocket League and just what kind of almost automatic reactions you make. You see somebody go up, okay, I have to go challenge them. But then if that player is a decoy, then now you give yourself an advantage because you know something the defense doesn't. And they've been able to utilize that to great effect to generate a lot of scoring opportunities. And look, over time, those opportunities are going to add up. The ball's going to end up in the net more often, and the wins are going to rack up with them.
The wins are racking up, and it looks like the win for this game is fairly inevitable now with 80 seconds left and 3 goals to the good for Gen.G. OpTic have continued to fight, continue to have shots, but you need to be a little bit more powerful than that with your strikes if you are to get it past Chronic. That's more like it, but that one's inaccurate, unfortunately, from Magic Bear. Rettles keeps the attack going, scooping it around the corner. AJ follows through, wants to get the second touch and does. Nolly's going to miss. Magic Bear's coming in, and it's a smart finish into the floor from Magic Bear.
Yeah, that's a great patient attack as well. AJ gets the second touch. Magic Bear, fantastic read. He sees Chronic coming on, realizes he can't just take the straight-on shot. The Magic Bear getting his second goal of the tournament, and a big one to maybe get some momentum here for OpTic as they go with the fake kickoff. Can they create off of it? It's got to be on to Magic Bear, but he's got to turn around with apparently Jack all over that ball.
Chronic's going to send that one long. I love the optimism still from OpTic Gaming. They're still trying to play this game right. The fake kickoff coming in, showing that they're still communicating, trying to mix up their approach, trying to make Gen.G guess and second guess themselves. It might not be too effective, but I admire the effort. Rettles is going to leave that one towards Magic Bear, who sees up AJ, and now Rettles is in, has a chance for a clean hit towards Chronic. Chronic in the perfect place to block as per usual. 20 seconds left. OpTic needs something soon if they're to steal something from this game.
The pressure for Magic Bear has been solid, especially at midfield, giving Gen.G something to think about. Going to try and create on his own right at Chronic, who makes a critical one-on-one stop, and that will take any hope of an OpTic comeback out of the equation as Nolly adds another. AJ's going to get credit for an extermination, which was happening behind the scenes and we barely noticed. But Nolly adds his 6th goal of this series.
He's just being a poacher, Nolly. He's not doing too much, just waiting for the ball to land to him. Well, I say he's not doing too much. He's doing all the work before he approaches the ball, you know, knowing where to be, having the read on the play. He's having the time of his life, really, is Nolly. He's had a fairly stuttered start to his RLCS career back in his guild days, but now he's so at home. And Gen.G are at home just in North America. They are loving life right now. And Leaf, who else is loving life and who is starting to hate it?
Well, I mean, that's a broad question, isn't it? It's supposed to be here for a while.
In Rocket League terms, explain.
Okay. I think for some of these teams, they're not starting to hate it. They've been hating it for a while.
Sure.
Well, we do have, again, we're a bit ahead of some of the other matches right now, but a team we haven't really talked about much right now, Space Station. They're currently sitting on match point against Furia. They're up 2-1 in that game 3 with a minute left, so there could be a sweep for Space Station on the docket. Then we also have a swing back to the middle, I suppose, for the Rebellion NRG match. Up until 0 seconds, it was tied 2-2, and NRG did get a 0-second goal. So it was a much closer match that time from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I do believe G2 was sitting at a match point, and I'm not sure if they've just completed that sweep over the Knights. I do believe they might have. No, it's almost done. It's 4-1, so probably in the next 30 seconds, they'll be winning that, yeah.
Okay, so things starting to trend back to the center in most of these matches, and I think Stacks that last game from Gen.G was a bit of a trend back to the center in the microcosm of this game.
Oh, definitely. That's more the Gen.G we expected. They kind of pull away at the end, made that look even further from a contested game as AJ took out Chronic there. Magic Bear's got to try and circle around back on this. That's a good effort out of Magic Bear to deny Gen.G an early opportunity. Can we just touch on for a moment, if I understood what Leaf said a moment ago, is Fury about to go 0-2?
Yeah, that did cross my mind, showing how harsh that swing against complexity could end up being for Furia. It's tough. They have got a crew next, so They'll be confident in beating them. But even so, you don't want to go 0-2 when you know you need a result just to make San Diego realistic after a quarterfinals. It's a harsh world, man. Quarterfinals, and suddenly you feel like you're climbing
right?
a slippery hill.
Yeah, and that's an accrue team that they're going to be playing for their maybe invitational lives. Also, by the way, on that subject, Complexity, you mentioned them. Happy birthday to Dex. Their team stream casters. Nolly adds one as well. Look, we're not going to talk about the other birthday over on the Gen.G side. We've talked about him enough. Nolly's got 7 goals.
How many of them have been open goals, Stacks? Do you keep track of that?
I don't have that. I should probably start putting a star next to them for him, right? I mean, it feels like at least 3 of them.
Yeah, he's just poaching and prodding. That's all he needs to do. Maybe he can show what a god he is mechanically here in the skies. Not to beat. Oh, here we go. Another chance. Go on, Nolly. Redirect. Unlucky. If that was an open goal, mate, he would have nailed it.
Well, Magic Bear and 8. Well, AJ jumps in front here. Looked like that was called out. As Magic Bear will wait on the opposite side. Instead, just kind of peels off at the end. We've seen that a lot from Magic Bear. You know, he's not just kind of recklessly diving in for these challenges. He's always making sure he's in a position to recover if needed. I wonder if maybe they need him to be a little more proactive as he makes the stop here on apparently Jack. Reddle's there to help as well. And AJ, it goes off of Reddles and in!
No.
Oh, it just keeps building up for the green wall.
Yeah, it does. And that's the quality of Gen.G. You know, they force these mistakes. They make players seem like they're out of position or have to head back when normally they'd be going towards the ball. I was just thinking, actually, before that one went in, have you noticed how much more static OpTic look? Their car body language doesn't really seem to me like they're going to be believing they'll get back into this series. They've slowed down a bit. I've got a horrible feeling they're a little bit tuckered. And Gen.G, of course, can take full advantage of that.
The other teams in this group, Koi and Dignitas. And I mean, we apparently know how good that Dignitas squad is. They took down OpTic in the first round, made that deep run a couple of weeks ago. Speaking of Dignitas, today the 4-year anniversary of a much different Dignitas team, winning DreamHack Leipzig back in 2019.
Oh, a big man Yukio.
Yes, sir.
The future was bright. The Dignitas
It really was. He had
forward about K-Dot.
He had the stellar performance at the World Championship a few months prior, and then ended up with Dig. Everything looked great. Questionable results after that.
Yeah.
Apparently Jack bringing this one through. That found Nolly. He's going to go for an 8th goal, and why not? Oh, Magic Bear there to stop him.
I'll keep on coming though, Gen.G, but OpTic are going to have to step up the pace themselves. There's an attempted fake by AJ. Apparently Jack wasn't falling for it, but that's a great challenge from Rettles. But where's Magic Bear? A little bit too far back. Got to be attacking those when your team are in need of a couple of goals. With time quickly dwindling. AJ around the corner again. There's a good demo from Magic Bear, but the challenge from AJ will fall to Magic Bear, but the shot's not there, Stacks. It just seems that final ingredient, the pepper, the spice, isn't quite available for OpTic Gaming anymore.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to finish. AJ will try here. His shooting's been on. Gets a little help as it goes off of Nolly and in, but he will take it. It's a 5th goal in this series for AJ, who has absolutely come alive and is trying to drag OpTic back to the starting block.
It's also open goal number 97 in the series for Nolly, so congratulations to him. Probably not his favorite of all of them, but the series does remain alive thanks to that flick from AJ. They have to build upon it, and they have to survive first. Magic Bear gets in the way. There's an attempted pinch from apparently Jack and Nolly, I think it was. Quite happening. OpTic come forward. Rettles gets the demo. Is the goal open for AJ? Yes, it is. He's been watching Nolly. He knows how to sink these. OpTic are alive and well.
Demo after demo through the smoke screen. Nobody home. AJ adding another. Here comes OG. Just trying to salvage anything out of this season and give themselves some hope and a shot at getting to the major in San Diego. It starts with a win here if they can somehow muster it. But here comes Nolly. Final minute. Apparently Jack is there, and so is Rettles.
They look like they were down and out, OpTic. But now, alive and well. Rettles beats Nolly again. Chronic touch to the side. Rettles is coming in. Look at the pace improvement from OpTic. Magic Bear desperate for the ball now. Around the corner he goes. Wants to get the challenge against Chronic. Chronic does well to slow it down, but then a mistake comes in. Nolly, thankfully for Chronic, Nolly was back. That was not ideal. from the young American genius. And OpTic flying to the end of this game.
Oh, AJ pounds one over the bar, and Magic Bear on the rebound effort. That's going to leave Reynolds all alone, and the shot on an open net was wide. There's Nolly, who again scores on an open net and breaks the 2-all tie.
If anything was going to end this series, that's what it was going to be. Nolly with an open net in front of him. That one was a little bit trickier, I won't lie. You know, he's had a lot of work to do, and that ball was coming around the corner. OpTic Gaming, you've done it before. 19 seconds to come back into this one again.
Give the ball to AJ and just get the heck out of his way. But right now, it's the other AJ, apparently Jack, who AJ has to challenge. Magic Bear, gotta get to this. He can't. Chronic trying to kill off the final 5 seconds. Reynolds got a turn. He couldn't grab that corner boost. AJ does. Will it matter? No, it won't. Who else but Nolly to spike it down? And Gen.G takes down OG.
Always will find a way at the moment, Genji. We said at the top of the series that this is a team that even if things are going wrong, they just believe that they will have the will, the endeavor, and the ability to win any series put in front of them. OpTic made it tough for them, Stacks. I think it's impressive, and hopefully they can take some of that belief going forwards, because there's more to this OpTic Gaming roster than we've seen in their results.
Yeah, man, it's so rough when you see a team that you know is good fall flat time and time again. It's got to be incredibly disappointing as a fan. It's got to be incredibly frustrating as the players themselves. This has almost just been a nightmare for OpTic, and they're still trying to wake up from it.
Beef, hello.
Yeah. Hi.
How you doing, mate? How you doing? Good series there, but you know, what's been going on elsewhere in that?
Everything all the time, and it's all done now, though. So
Wow.
there's
All
nothing
done?
else. Yeah, let's go home.
Around?
Let's go home. Yeah, no, everything ended about around the same time there. Quick, we'll go over these after the break here, but like quick update before we do go to that is that Dignitas got their win over Koi. FaZe Clan, yes, I completed that sweep. NRG got their dub 3-1 over Shopify Rebellion, so that's good. G2 is looking good today. They're 3-0 over the Knights right now. It just looks solid all around. And version 1 looking good with a dub over Ghost Gaming. We'll wrap all the rest up afterwards, though. Why don't we go to a break, stretch our legs, get some water, and come back? Yeah, let's do that.